So what's your number? Have you ever wanted to know how much you needed to save for retirement? A lot of people come to me for that. I'm a certified financial planner. I've been helping hundreds of families to cross the bridge into retirement, financial independence, as well as make sure they're on track for it before then, and as well as clean up some issues, all the things. I offer fee-only fiduciary comprehensive financial planning in my day job, and I offer free, hopefully comprehensive financial education and enablement on YouTube for now. And let's dive in. So today I wanted to look at a newer offering to some of the offerings I've seen called New Retirement. Oh, bonus, I have a video about some of the YouTube group, or excuse me, Facebook group for New Retirement. But since posting that, creating that, and now they've changed their name. So I did a Google search for New Retirement and end up at Boldin is their new name. Good for them. If I'm going to say on the outside, I still think I liked New Retirement better. I had no problems with the name. It's possible maybe it's difficult to trademark, and that's a potential. And they might want to move in other areas than just retiring focus. So there's that. But I'm so impressed by the New Retirement Facebook group. It's full of people who are on track or have reached financial independence, primarily at or before age 65. And it's just amazing. I did a video again, which I'll link in the description if I can remember, on somebody posting in the Facebook group for New Retirement that said, of those who've retired, and again, these are hand raisers, it's anecdotal, this is not scientific data, but of those who have retired, any regrets? And there are top 5 things that I noted in that video, which I thought were fascinating. Again, those are people who have already retired comfortably with financial independence, largely securely. So let's get into it. I already Googled this to prep because I forgot their name, and I wanted to go to ChatGPT. So I use a software called Money Guide Pro, and my firm pays for it. We have a couple user licenses. So I wanted to do a comparison and let ChatGPT offer that to me. So let's see what they come up with. Now, Money Guide Pro, I believe, is exclusively offered through financial advisors or certified financial planners or financial planners. I don't know the relationship of any other firm with Money Guide Pro. It's owned by a parent company called InvestNet, and they do wonderful products. We use Money Guide Pro. We use MyBlocks, which is an offering of theirs, and we also upgrade to Yodlee, which is an aggregator. An aggregator allows our users and clients to put the URL for whatever account they have, sign in, and authenticate a read-only relationship so that the advisor can see their underlying other accounts and assets without having to manage it, without having to own it or create a new user. I can talk about that in another video if you're interested as well. So let's see. So when comparing Money Guide Pro and Boldin, each platform has strengths catering to different financial planning needs. Money Guide Pro is well-established, comprehensive tool widely used by financial advisors, focuses on goals-based planning, helps clients map out their retirement, investments, and overall health. The What If worksheet is pretty phenomenal and comparing different scenarios. What it can do is say, here's where you are now compared to one different variable change. For instance, if you saved X amount more per year to retirement. So if you're wondering like, oh, should I put money into my Roth or my 401k? Or, oh, should I max out my 401k? This software can provide you the at least projections. It's done on a pretty awesome probability rate, so I like it. Holistic stress test, agree. It also depends on the user of Money Guide Pro and how experienced they are. Playzone, MyBlocks, okay, geared towards me. Robust set of tools, great. Boldin, on the other hand, is a more consumer-facing tool designed for those who prefer a hands-on approach to financial planning. So this is more your DIY. Flexible modeling of future financial scenarios, allowing users to explore different what-if scenarios. Oh, okay, great. Situations without the need for an advisor. Okay, income and expense tracking, retirement planning, risk management. Okay, so it looks like, honestly, a lot of the same. It's user-friendly and offers a more direct, less advisor-driven approach to Money Guide Pro. Great. Ideal for advisors working with clients needing detailed and complex financial plans, while Boldin appeals to individuals wanting a more self-directed financial planning experience. Your choice between the two depends on whether you prefer advisor-led planning or DIY financial management. Interesting. Okay, so let's take a look. I don't want to see this sponsored. I used to work in this industry. They pay to be in this spot when it says sponsored. I don't want to charge them a click at this point, even though I probably will sign up, but I am going to use their, it's called the organic listing where there's no sponsored. Okay. Cool site. Feels good. I don't get a lot out of the visual. I'm a visual learner, but I don't really get with software a lot of out of looking at screenshots of software personally. I really need to just jump in and go. And I think that's why the freemium model of SaaS-based products or software as a service, so offering you the free level where you can log in and just dink around in it is really important to me. I know not everyone feels that way. Okay, great. Okay, I want to look at pricing just to see if the free offering is still there. Better than a simple retirement calculator. Most retirement calculators take your salary and multiply it by 25 or some very similar calculation on those ends. So I think, yeah, it's going to be better. Okay, so you can do a little bit more. Okay. And working with someone like me, a certified financial planner, $1,650 on average. It does depend on the level of service. Our financial plans are a little bit higher priced, though certainly for a comparable, I mean, I have no way of knowing the difference between the two. We offer holistic planning, comprehensive retirement plan review, asset allocation and asset location, Roth conversion and withdrawals review, retainer with full access to CFP, short-term engagements, flexible plans customized to your needs. I will say this. I need to do a little more research, but this is a little overrated, Roth conversions and withdrawals review. I do agree that Roth conversions have an impact. Same with changing a client's allocation if they are not diversified enough or risk appropriate. But these are in their own compartments. There may be 1 to 10% max. Working one more year into retirement is also an easy 10% win on your probability of success. So if you're willing and interested in doing the work of saying, if I did this strategic Roth conversion strategy several years in a row, that would offset me having to work one more year, maybe I could see a compelling argument. I just haven't seen the output or the probability of success swing dramatically by pursuing a Roth conversion strategy, but maybe I'm limited in the, experience that I have. So that'll be something I'd like to research more. Okay, no credit card required, free. Let's do it. Let's sign up. I don't know if I already have signed up or not. Okay. Should I use? Okay, I'm going to pause my screen share and actually here. Okay, I'm actually going to pause the video that I'm recording and be right back after I've logged in. I'm going to probably sign up with Google. Here, let's see. Zoom. Okay. I'm probably going to sign up with Google. So that's what I'm going to do. And I will. Okay, I'm back. All right. So excellent. Pick your path. We've designed 2 paths into our retirement planner. Use estimates for income, savings, and expenses. You can always add and update your information later. Comprehensive. This path allows you to input more information about your finances, so your plan will be more accurate than the quick path once you're done. Okay, little security note. People with financial plan are 3 times more likely to feel confident about their future. Okay, but know your source. Charles Schwab also manages retirement accounts for people. So I don't know. Seems general enough. All right, 2 minutes versus 8 minutes. 2 minutes versus 8 minutes. What should we do? Can I can update it later? Okay, let's see. Female, Sagittarius. Where am I? Oof, old. But I didn't have to scroll. I wonder if that's JavaScript that they did. There is a psychological thing the older you get when you have to scroll to your birth year. And if they start at like present or even maybe 18 years old, which would be what, 2020, 2002, because it's 2024. I liked that I didn't have to excessively scroll. So if somebody was behind that, or if it's an accident, yes, I'm married. He is dashing and a little bit older. Scroll, scroll, scroll. All right. Tell us about your current household income. I'm going to put some estimates here. Monthly pre-tax income. I'm putting in estimates. This is not what we make. I'm using generic data. Typical of maybe what I see in the Bay Area for people who are modest middle class. It's a wide range, so let's just see that as it is. Okay. Social Security. So these are estimates. They're probably not wrong. I've looked at estimates based on this. How much do we have in savings? Sure, we'll say this. This is not actuals, and I'd be curious to see what actuals look like. No pensions over here. Well, the bank and us own the home. We do have a mortgage. Okay, so I'm going to enter these inputs, but pause the recording. Okay. 50 to 80% of their working income in retirement. Spend. Oh, most people spend an average of, yeah, I agree. Most people don't save. Tell us a little bit about your budget. Oh, this is wrong. No way it's going to be 1,000 for medical per month. We're self-employed. We buy through Cover California. Other expenses? Whew, no, I mean, we're pretty much making up all of it. I don't like this. I already don't like this module. Most people don't know this about themselves. Yeah, I already think this is too simplistic for most people. That's possible. We have kids now and we could downsize. I don't want to have to do that. Okay. So what this is, and I don't see where they dive deep into what that means, but retirement chance of success. So I'm a financial planner, and I know, roughly speaking, that I put in pretty obscure numbers. But if I were an individual, particularly someone who wasn't already on track for retirement, these results might desperately terrify me. And I think that's because it's not in context. So we'll see what the coaching has to say, and we'll see if we can make modifications. But I already know most people don't know their expenses. And if they do, they're going to get a lot of value out of this quick reference tool. A lot of value. Anybody who knows their expenses in general will get the most value out of any financial planning. So any of my budget reviews, you should definitely take a look at. There are some pretty interesting tools. I don't know any free ones out there anymore that track your expenses. So they all come with a fee, but there are free ways to, besides your time, track your expenses. This is called a Monte Carlo analysis, is my guess. That is a probability of success. It takes your data and runs it through 1,000 trials on your data to come up with a dialed approach. It isn't so much like in grammar school, when you get an A minus and it's a 90%, you're like, oh, darn, I could have done better if you care. Or a C minus, hey, at least I passed, right? It's a little bit more like the C minus. When you get a 70% or better, that is a good outcome because it's a very sensitive analysis. I could reduce my spend in retirement. Let's see. So let's say I reduce this down to 8,000 monthly. Okay, great. And then let's look at overview, 81%. So just $2,000 per month, which is 24,000 per year over a 30-year retirement, presumably. I don't know the actual years. I go from a 15% chance of success to an 81% chance of success. Now, yes, 2000 per month is extreme, but I'm just using numbers. That's just to emphasize the distinct sensitivity of a Monte Carlo analysis on certain key variables. Okay, so I have the option to complete my plan. What I'd ideally like to do is be maybe syncing my additional accounts in here rather than just putting variables. What are my coach suggestions? Okay, consider how monthly expenses may change over time. That is exactly what I would say, but I don't see this being necessarily very helpful. Also, for people retiring early who have to buy health insurance, I don't see that that's allowed. Active or passive? Okay, I'm a passive. Verify Social Security. I usually have to do that with every plan. Okay, and you can unlock. Interesting. Okay, so I think on the whole, from a freemium-based standpoint, this gives me enough information. If I was already on track for retirement and or had a good sense of what my tracked expenses are, I would say this is an extremely helpful tool from the quick view standpoint. Now, I believe there is still the opportunity to link my accounts. We can compare a scenario. So add an account, let's see. Traditional IRA, me, okay, I like that. All right, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so upgrade to that, but what if I do start? Okay. Member settings, two-factor authentication, good. Subscription. Okay, got it. Connections. Okay, interesting. So they do require an update to aggregate. That makes sense. And I'm going to go back to pricing real quick. Since we upgrade to Yodlee, okay, 120 a year. That's roughly covering that aggregation for the most part, I'd probably say. Okay, interesting. Well, I mean, I think it's good. It's definitely good. It's excellent. It's excellent for a free tool, right? Absolutely excellent. It doesn't necessarily at the free level give me everything I need. Like it did say the number one coaching tip was monthly expenses, and that was the widest swing, right? I went from 15% certainty. That means 150 times out of 1,000 trials on my data, I'm going to be successful. And that means 850 times out of 1,000, I'm going to fail at retirement. But just by modifying spend, we got to 85%, and above 70 is good. It'd be nice if they had a little bit more description on what that probability meant. I could be missing it. And I can add an asset. I don't want to add an asset, but I do want to add an account and see if I can do, okay, traditional IRA, it's mine. We'll just say generic IRA, current balance, 10,000. Okay. And how I'm not so certain that people know what their optimistic or pessimistic rates of return are. Okay, you can exclude it. Interesting. So I can't actually put my underlying investments in there. Got it. It's also saying my other savings, it has a rate of return of 5%. For most of my adult lifetime, savings rates were below 5%. We're below 1%, in fact. I don't know if it's most, but several years of my post-investing life after age 21, we started at 5 or 6% interest rates, and then they went dramatically lower until just recently. So yeah. Okay. I mean, true. True. In the end, you just need the average rate of return. I just don't know how the average person would get that. Your 401k statement through work might have that, so you can make a modification. It's also a rate of return, which is an average, right? 30 years of returns with this portfolio, average annual returns. So if you put your 401k statement said, I have a 25% average return, that might just be 1 year. And that 1 year is pulling up the average, but there could be a negative 8% rate of return if you isolate it to one 12-month or 1 year at a time. So I think that's a little dangerous, but they do default to 5%. So not a bad situation. I don't know what their inflation estimates are. I don't know, future dollars. I don't know today's dollars. Okay. Plan updated. No change to out of savings age. More in your estate at 91. Pay more in your lifetime taxes. Okay, so what's future dollars? Let's see. How do we switch it? I don't care. $10,000 over my lifetime in future dollars of taxes. I think that's what it's telling me that I could save if I did some Roth conversions. Hopefully that's more meaningful for people. Income score. Okay. Oh man, I might have to end up having to buy this subscription because I just at the free level, I don't know. I don't see it. It's also got cash flows starting at retirement, which is the same as ours. I don't use a cash flow tool. I use a goals-based tool, Money Guide Pro, but it is cash flow once retirement starts. So I think that's a nuance in the industry if there are any advisors watching this. eMoney is a cash flows and goals-based planning software, and effectively Money Guide Pro is too once you've started retirement. And in fact, there are ways you can not really hack, but utilize Money Guide Pro as a tool. If you effectively retire someone, particularly early, who has various different cash flow streams and isn't a traditional 9 to 5 W-2 employee. So all that's doable. Okay. All right, cool. Interesting. Try scenarios. Basic baseline plan, which is probably what we did. Single scenario. I want to do, I don't know how it's coming up with my savings either. I think it's just based on what I own, my growth rate, and what I'm spending. No, it's saying that I'm contributing, that much. Optimistic, average, or pessimistic. I see. Okay. All right. So I can't retire if I don't save anything. Noted. If I save this much each year with this scenario, I'll have net worth at end of plan. Okay. I gotta say, I was really nervous about this software. I've come into contact with this team 18, woo, 18, 20 years ago, and they are so savvy, impressive, and smart. So I was a little worried. But I still think our Money Guide Pro software does offer more. Now, this is not apples to apples comparisons. So our entry level tool, My Blocks, I think it'd be important to see the difference there. I don't know if we could offer it free. If we did offer My Blocks free, it would be subsidized by our other clientele and business endeavors. So there's that reality. If we did offer it, maybe it would be comparable to the Planner Plus, which is $120 per year. So this is a very interesting tool. I'm glad to see it. I think it helps all of us. Okay, so I said if I spent, what was it, 17,000? So my plan, 83% outcome when I spent these figures. And when I increased spend 2,000 per month, so I was 15%. So let's get a mid-range option. I love the tools, the comparison tools, but I do like to manipulate those. Okay, so when it's 10,000 for discretionary spend, non-housing, non-healthcare, we're 15%. 25% if it's 9,000. So 10,000 per month on discretionary spend and retirement. And it probably because it squeezes how much I can save today is my guess. Um, I don't understand the relationship between how much I need to save exactly. And they probably have those locked, so that's fine. Enroll. Okay, interesting. So the sweet spot for me is lowering my expenses 2 grand per month, and ideally now putting that into savings. Sure. Okay. I I don't see that necessarily as the objective of this free tool, but I do think they're just trying to pique your interest and get into the $120 per month. If they offer tracking, expense tracking here, if you link your accounts, I think that's pretty worth it because most of the programs I see, like Monarch and Copilot.money and You Need a Budget, in order to integrate and sync, as well as bookkeeping software tools, QuickBooks, Wave apps, they charge at the minimum, I think, $40 a year in order to sync your accounts and track your expenses, in addition to seeing your investments. So, or seeing your investments in this software as it's helpful. So the tracking I'm saying is $40 a year minimum to track your expenses. And if this brought that all together for $120 per year, okay, great. But let's also take a look at something else. So I'm bringing up a calculator here, and most advisors, we charge less, but most advisors charge 1% of assets under management. So if you came to them with a $400,000 retirement portfolio, like this example we used, oh, oh, okay, times 0.01, you're going to be spending $4,000 a year on investment management, and hopefully you're getting meetings too. This is when people say, you may as well spend $1,650 for a financial plan or less than $4,000 for a financial plan, because to get the equivalent for someone managing your assets, it's $4,000. Again, our firm charges less than 1%. And there are robo advisors that charge maybe 0.25%, which is much less. 0.25 is 0.25 of 1%. So just because these are fancy terms, instead of 0.01, 0.0025 is 0.25%, and it's 1,000 per year. And that, I think, Betterment or Wealthfront, one of those offers that. So that's how usually advisors calculate it, and it's done quarterly. So if that $4,000 1% fee divided by 4 quarters, it is based on your account value at the end of the quarter, and it goes up ideally over time if you're invested in the market long term. But about 1,000 per quarter is what you could expect to spend for investment management in the first year at 1% with $400,000. So what are your options? If they have a minimum, you could maybe send over 100 or 200,000 of your assets instead of, or just one account that's comparable. That's a way to control spend and still get the value. You just don't know. You don't know advisors and how in-depth, comprehensive financial planning how much they offer. Okay, so where was I going with that? 400,000. Oh yeah. So I want to reverse engineer 1%. So if we multiply by 0.1, we're going to divide by 0.1. So if you have $12,000 in assets under management, that's the equivalent of $120 per year. So not much, right? Like definitely $120 for the premium plus, if they provide the right tools and everything, is worth it. By comparison to working with a financial planner or the more expensive options out there. So overall, I think this is great. This is an excellent freemium tool. I like that they have it completely anonymous, besides, linking your Gmail account if you want to. You don't have to. Certainly is pretty. I just am curious for the layperson, somebody just getting into all this, how much better this is compared to your standard retirement calculator tool. So that's free, and you just put in a couple of key variables for the same. So trying Planner Plus is probably going to be my next step here. I'm curious about the Launch Roth Conversion Explorer, we calculate that you could have $180,000 more in your estate. Okay, maybe that's 1 year of long-term care expenses if we need it. Maybe it's one more year's income or spend. I don't know if this is future dollars or it isn't future dollars. So it's probably the equivalent of like, well, let's see if it updates. Okay, so it doesn't update. So I don't know if this is today's dollars or future dollars. They do go into Social Security strategies, so that's good. Be interested to, let's see, does it give me more here already? Next. Okay. Desired claiming age. Yeah, that's what. I don't think I would want to do that. I'd actually want to do his full retirement age is what I'd want. Claiming. Oh, I guess they're just giving us the widest range. That might be what's happening. I always start clients at full retirement age, which is 67 and 67 in this household example, and then compare to something else. Because I changed and modified the years, that might be why that's already okay. So we start at that. Great. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. And these look like future dollars. Let's see. I don't know if these again are in today's dollars or future dollars. That's a really important aspect of any financial planning software tool is to understand what am I looking at here? Am I looking at today's dollars or future dollars? And what's the relationship there? So, okay. It's not giving me though, I guess maybe this is the break even point is when these lines cross. And effectively that's the same. Okay. So 2,000 more per, or 2,300 more per month if we both, if one of us or me, the higher benefit claimer in this situation. Okay. Um, I have to admit I have questions. My software does this as well. I don't know if the My Blocks version or the more general public version does. So definitely some research to do. I like this tool. I don't know. Let's see the summary. 100% what to think yet at the free level. So yeah, I. But maybe it seems like a lot of people in the Facebook group have no problem figuring this out. And I really admire the team creating it. And this is definitely something that's necessary in the space. Uh, so my next step is probably going to be to try upgrading to Planner Plus, and I'll do a video on that. But I want to think through what kind of data I'd use. So I somewhat anonymize my own data overall. All right. Well, thanks for watching. And I look forward to doing more comparisons like this in the future.